And since we're just chatting right now, I can turn the gain up just a little bit since I can be comfortable. I need to refresh my chat box though. Damn thing. Come on. There we go. Alright, party peoples, we're here. What's going on, Keyshawn? Just got done playing Neptunia. Now I've moved on to pretty much just chatting. It's got to be two separate live streams, unfortunately, because I don't have the means to just move from one thing to the other. So, yeah, we're just going to talk about some shit in a second. As soon as I get this all sent out. Okay, looks like we are all ready to go. So, there's no real topic for today. We're just gonna kind of discuss shit. So anything that gets brought up, except for, you know, like, really bad shit, you know. Sounds like you... How do you feel about Street Fighter 5's, or Street Fighter 6's Year 2 Fighter Pass? Any thoughts? I absolutely fucking love the idea of Terry and Mai coming to Street Fighter 6. And I was just talking about this on Neptunia before I moved over to, just chatting. By the way, before anybody asks, in case, yes, the background is Vox. But, the, idea of guest characters in Street Fighter 6, if you think about, like, what they did last game in Street Fighter 5 when they had Akira from Rival Schools, it makes too much sense. And I think Terry and Mai, like, I honestly think Mai and Terry, like, people can say what they want about Mai being fan servicey and all that, like, oh, Mai's hot and blah, 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 like, no. Mai is a very well-known character, and Terry, like, honestly, Terry and Mai are, like, the two faces of SNK that I can think of. Like, if there are two SNK characters that are in any fucking collab ever, it is these two. Because, think about it, Mai was in 2 different fucking DOA games, but she was also one of the more popular characters in CVS 2, joining the roster. She's one of the more well-known characters across fighting game fans, just of SNK in general. Rusty! Rusty! What's up, brother? Busta Wolf, indeed. And then there's Terry. I don't even think I gotta talk about the popularity of Terry, right? Like, we all know, like, Terry's a cool character. I fucking love Terry Bogard. I've cosplayed the character on numerous occasions. And I play him in pretty much everything he's in. But let's talk about Terry's popularity across so many collabs he's been in. Right? Like, Terry in Fighting EX Layer, and CVS2, which is like a big Capcom and SNK crossover fighting game. Terry in Smash. Hell, even when they made him like a female in SNK Heroines, like, Terry and Mai just have this absurd amount of fucking popularity. So, with these two characters being both being in Street Fighter 6, it just makes sense that they would pick these two. I honestly think this is, like, there is no better choice of characters. Like, I would argue these are even better character choices than, like, Kyo and Iori, or like Terry and Kyo, or even Terry and Rock. Like, despite how much I love Rock Howard, I like Rock Howard more than I like Terry Bogard. Hello, my lord. I don't care if Maya's overrated. I love her because she's hot, but also cool. I love Firewoman. Yeah, that's the thing. Is, like, it's not just because she's hot. She is a cool character, but she's also very well known. The marketing there is genius. She's a very well-known character, right next to Terry Bogard. Like, they are the two SNK characters that everybody recognizes, except for maybe Kyo or Rock. I think if you wanted to add someone different, if for some reason you wanted to add someone different from Mai, Geese Howard. And that's only because of his massive success as a crossover character in Tekken 7. But in all honesty, I love the idea of Terry. Let's just talk about Terry for a second here. Terry in Smash, being as popular as he was, it makes sense that he comes to Street Fighter because there's always been this implication that Terry and Ken could be good friends. Because think about it, in every single interaction they've had, whether it be in fan art or like short little story things, or even in the SNK Capcom crossovers, they have always been cool with each other, right? Terry and Ken alone just have really, 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 really fucking good chemistry. Terry could be a Street Fighter character if he wanted to. So the fact that Terry's coming to a game where it seems like it just makes a lot of sense, I think is a great idea. And I've said this before, this also, since Street Fighter is now just doing guest characters, right? Because last game you had Akira Kazama from Rival Schools, and like I don't know if you would consider the Final Fight characters to be guests, like Cody and fucking Cody and Sodom. Terry and Ken are brethrens, no doubt. Yeah, exactly. But like, I don't know if you consider the Final Fight characters like Cody and Guy and Sodom and shit like that to be guest characters, but like, if you think about it, Rival School's character in Street Fighter V from the last game, it was a great idea. They translated her gameplay so well. And this also sparked the idea, I was just talking about this, this means they could bring Batsu or Kyosuke into Street Fighter 6. And since this is opening up the idea for guest characters in Street Fighter 6 and opening up the discussion, I have been saying for a long ass time, I think one of the sickest guest characters you could ever have in a Street Fighter game is Strider. The fact that we have Elena now is lit. Haven't had her since Third Strike and Ultra 4. How do you think the devs should go about making guest characters? Go nuts! I say they should go nuts! Guest characters, as long as they are not like... Okay, how do I say this? Guest characters, as long as it's not, like, too out of control, they should be allowed to play a completely different game. They should be batshit crazy. Guest characters should break the conventional rules for fighting games. So if they added someone like, since they're adding like Terry and Mai, if they added someone like Strider, or like me and Keyshawn were talking about a couple of years back, where it's like if somehow they did something like Ryu Hayabusa or someone like that, or if they brought like a guest character like from Tekken over to Street Fighter because of Akuma's massive success, I would say it'd be either Lars or Jin. But imagine they did that, right? These characters should be able to go fucking insane. Because that's what gives these guest characters appeal. Is the idea that they don't play the conventional game. That's what makes the characters fun, though. Is that they don't play the game in a conventional sense. That's the beauty of crossovers, right? That's why I like BlazBlue Cross Tag, because when you've got this mix of BlazBlue, Undernight, Persona, Ruby, Arcana Heart, Akatsuki, and Senran Kagura, like, just mixing and matching mechanics with each other. Same thing that they did with CVS2, my favorite fighting game of all time, and you just have this big fucking mesh of different mechanics from different games, or, you know, needing these characters to be this kind of weird character paired with this other weird character. Like, these characters can do this, but these characters can't do this, but they can do that. I think the idea of characters having a bunch of different rule sets in one game, yeah, sure, the game's gonna come out kusoge as fuck, but it's what makes it fun. It's the bullshittery and the fun of it. We need a BB Tag 2? Abso-fucking-lutely. Fuck the balance. Like, I think if there was ever a time to make a BB Tag 2, this would be it. With all of the characters that were supposed to be originally planned for BB Tag. All of the Senran Kagura characters that they announced. Every character from Uni 2. Every character from P4AU. Every character from Arcana Heart. Almost the entire BlitzConf roster. And any mainstay Ruby character. Probably like add in Team Juniper, add in Crow. And then add in Emerald, Mercury, and Cinder. Like, just give us over like 100-something characters. Fuck it. Make the game bullshit crazy. The game's already bullshit crazy, and that's the beauty of it. And that's the crazy thing. CVS2's technically done this before, because the different grooves transform each character, which is already a pretty sizable roster when you look at it alone. But in CVS2, that means Capcom vs. SNK 2, to anybody who maybe doesn't know what I'm talking about. There's 6 different grooves, right? There's CAP, and then SN and K. 6 different grooves per character. That means 6 different characters per character because of how it changes up the character's mechanics. So you can make C Groove Ryu and K Groove Ryu, and they play completely differently. Which means take that initial roster you have and now just multiply it by 6 because of how drastically the grooves transform the characters, and that's how massive that roster is. And that's what's so fucking beautiful about it, right? That's what would make BlazBlue Tag, or BB Tag 2 so fucking cool. And Nitro Plus Blaster, yeah. But, like, adding in guest characters for Street Fighter, like, I think these characters should break the conventional rules of the game. If they are not playing their own game, you are not doing a guest character, correctly. If they are not playing a different game. That's what made Akuma, Geese, and Noctis so fun in, like, T7. And that's what makes Akira, a really cool character for Street Fighter V, even though I dislike that game. You gotta admit, that was a sick fucking character. Hell, even Akatsuki and Eltnum, that's what makes those characters fun in Under Night. And hell, like, even if you want even better examples, like, look at MK and the massive amounts of guest characters. Like, pick your poison. All of them have this game-breaking thing where it's like they can do this and no one else can. Jason and MKX is by far, I think, besides Kratos and MK9, the best designed guest character in an MK game, because here he is bringing forth this simple yet effective game plan, but he's also breaking the rules of MKX in a way that gives him total bullshit but makes him fun to play. He's breaking armor still when the game tried to patch out breaking armor. He's over here doing ridiculous damage because of a passive that he's granted, where if you pick Relentless, the lower your health is, the more damage you do. Unstoppable, giving him that self-res that trades in your meter. Things like that. This character, bringing his own set of mechanics, is what makes him awesome. And that's just one guest character out of fucking how many? It's just so appropriate to the character. And then, of course, you have Soul Calibur. And oh my god, Soul Calibur guest characters. Oh. I don't even think I need to talk about how fucking awesome 2B was. 2B and fucking Haomaru. Hell, I thought Geralt was really cool. Do I play Soul Calibur 6? I used to. But there were other games I wanted to play. Hell, if there was a way for me to play Soul Calibur 2 or Soul Calibur 3 on modern hardware, I would play it. Honestly. I was always, I've been saying since 2018, 2019 that one of the characters I would somehow really want to see, even though Soul Calibur is never going to do this again with the console exclusivity thing, I've always been saying for a long time, right? Fucking 2018, 2019. If there was a guest character I could see in Soul Calibur, I want to see Roy. I absolutely loved how Link was in Soul Calibur 2. I want to see Roy from Fire Emblem. I want to see how they could convert him into a Soul Calibur character. Alear? Alear from, what was that? N-Gage, right? But which Alear are we talking about here? Are we talking male or female? Or should we just have both and then just make them switch? Either way, Alear from fucking N-Gage, they'd be cool. I play the female Alear because I like her design more, but you know what I mean. But yeah, why isn't Soul Calibur doing console exclusives anymore? I don't know, to be honest. I think it's just because they don't want their guest characters being banned, because console exclusivity unfortunately means that unless you're running a community-run tournament where it's a local thing where that character is allowed, or maybe it's an online tournament for this version specifically and that character is allowed, usually in official competitions and shit like that, in terms of marketability, it kind of kills the interest for the character, because it means that your character is... Because, a big thing with the character, it means that your character is day one banned from competition. Day one. And the thing is, it's, somewhat kills interest in the character in, the more dedicated scene, because they see, oh, this character is banned indefinitely due to console exclusivity, so not a lot of people are going to play him. Which is unfortunate which is an unfortunate case for, Kratos in MK9, because he was locked exclusively to the PlayStation 3 version. which means if you played the game on PC or Xbox, you couldn't lab the character, so you couldn't learn how to play him, and you also couldn't learn how to play against him. So and not learning how to play against a character with basically the fucking highest damage output, like, you know what I mean? And the Star Wars characters, those characters I don't think were banned, because even though PS3 got Vader and Xbox got Yoda exclusively, eventually there was a pack released where you could get both characters on one console, as well as, what was the guy's name? Starkiller or something like that? The Apprentice? Was it Starkiller? Someone correct me at the chat if I'm wrong. But yeah, like, Soul Calibur doing characters like that, I want to see them convert these characters. But if Soul Calibur were to do a Fire Emblem character, I want to see, like, the bigger main faces of Fire Emblem. You know what I mean? Like, like the ones that everybody knows, like Roy, Marth, Ike, Lucina. You are correct? Okay. But yeah, I would want to see what these characters could do, like, in-game. And I think they could do I think they would do a great job, like, converting these characters over to, a 3D, like, more traditional fighting game environment. I would be so interested in seeing something like that. Guest characters are usually always cool for me, though, to be completely honest, because the guest characters, like, it's a different character being added to a game that's already fun in its own right. And it's always cool to see non-fighting game characters get converted into a fighting game, Smash or not. You can't lie. It's cool seeing characters like fucking Jason Voorhees and Omni-Man and, like, fucking, Geralt and 2B. Like, characters that you don't normally see do these kinds of fighting game style combos. You can't lie. It's really cool to see them all of a sudden doing these, like, fighting game designed juggles. Plus, it also gives us video games where we can play as... Like, this is another thing. It also gives us more video games where we can play as beloved characters. Because think about it, the only two things you can play as Omni-Man, Mortal Kombat and Fortnite. One, he's a skin, and the other, he's locked as a guest in a fighting game. But these are video games where you can play as Omni-Man. Do you think they'll continue to make the Marvel vs. Capcom series? They very much could at this point. I was discussing this earlier, too. Like, this new MVC collection, legit, I think that one of the best things they could also do is also just give UMVC 3 and MVCI rollback as well. Like, for the modern versions. You weren't hyped for Smash Sora? I mean, I was. I mean, if I were to pick another Square Enix character, I wanted Noctis, not Sora, but considering Sora was, across multiple fans, the most requested Smash character of all time, besides, like, I think maybe Goku, since, like, fucking Brawl. It was like, what was it? It was like Sora and fucking Goku. But considering he was one of, if not the most requested Smash character of all time, he was a great send-off. Guys, I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom again. Okay, so I'm back. Let's see what questions I missed. Is it me or is the video game industry on the downward spiral? Um, could you elaborate, like, in what way you mean that exactly? Like, in a downward spiral, exactly, like, in what manner specifically? Like, are we talking in terms of, like, uh, business practices, or you have all the DLC characters, you're an SNK fan for Terra, you're happy for Pyra. On a downward spiral, as in there's a disinterest in gaming because of greed. I mean, dude, I'm about to sound like a fucking Asmongold video, but like, I don't think it's a necessary disinterest in gaming because of greed, because, like, being realistic, right? No matter what happens, people subscribe to shit anyway. Unfortunately, people just kind of subscribe to this sorts of things anyway because they don't want to stop playing video games. And it's also especially the case for, like, a video game that leans towards this direction that they already had played later on, you know what I mean? Like, there is still a pretty dedicated fan base towards Overwatch, even though Overwatch went towards... they went from Overwatch to over-monetized. You just have to pay for fucking everything now. But I think the idea that gaming being in a downward spiral... I don't know if that's the correct way to sum it up. I'm not sure if that's the choice of words I use. I'd say we've entered kind of a darker modern age with things because gaming companies know that they can get away with doing this sort of shit because, like, let's be real, no matter how much we talk about disliking this sort of thing and we try to combat it, games still thrive off of these business practices of the modern era, so I think, I don't know. How would I sum this up? Instead of a downward spiral, I think we've made a less of a downward spiral and more of a God, I don't know. I actually don't know how to describe it. Downward spiral is usually like... When I hear downward spiral, though, I usually think of, like, several bad decisions. But mostly the bad decisions that are made are the same, too. Right? It's... everything costs a fuckload of money, and it's super online dependent. You know what I mean? Like, the games are super dependent on being played online. And they just cost a fuckload of money. I guess a way I would say it is there aren't as many hardcore gamers playing all types of games, but the mainstream ones. I guess the way I would say it is there isn't as many hardcore gamers playing all types of games with the mainstream ones. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Would it be a downward spiral? I mean, I don't know. I guess you could say we've fallen into a loophole. But I don't know. I think downward spiral would like imply that it's killing the gaming market. For Jaden, for example, he plays the randomest shit and doesn't stick to GTA 5. Oh, oh, okay, yeah. Now I see what you're saying. Um, I guess it was the choice of words that confused me, but like, yeah, that's definitely become how it is now. The mainstream audience is definitely stronger now than it used to be back then. But to be fair, right? This isn't to say that most mainstreams are bad. Like most stream games are bad. I've played a lot of them, and I haven't disliked many of them. I've liked a lot of them, but like the thing is like the mainstream audience back then kind of just didn't exist. There was no mainstream back then. I think the only thing you could consider mainstream back then, because shooters weren't as big around that era as they are now, was like sports games and shit like that. Games were more experimental. So I guess in a way we've kind of fallen into a loophole where a majority of gamers are playing the more mainstream stuff, but like, was COD the slippery slope, you would say? Not just COD. I don't think it's fair to just blame everything on COD, because like, COD is like, it's become one of these things where it's like it's fun to hate on just because it's big, it's popular. Funny thing is, I haven't been excited for a new COD release in a long, long time. I'm actually very excited for the release of Black Ops 6. Nowadays, I don't really care about Western-made AAA games. That's fair. Everybody's got their own taste. But I'm actually very excited for the release of Black Ops 6. I want to play Black Ops 6. Black Ops 6 actually seems to be doing a lot of things right. It's been a long time since I've actually been excited about the release of Black Ops. And it's not like I've ever disliked COD as a series. Overall, I still would say I like Call of Duty. Maybe because I'm a weeb? No, I mean, I play weeb shit too. I play weeb shit more. It's just I like Call of Duty. Like, that's just the simplest way I can put it. I like Call of Duty, but I just haven't liked some of the more recent releases. I stopped really giving a fuck about releases after MW 2019 dropped. Like, I think Black Ops 4 was kind of the last one, and then that was it for me. MW 2019 was cool, and then the rest of them are just kind of like whatever. And then Black Ops 6 is coming out. I'm excited for it. And if you guys want to know about like what's going on with that, watch the whole presentation on it. They're doing a lot of stuff right with that game, in my opinion. But this is me. I know this is gonna sound weird, but like, I think we kind of somewhat need the mainstream. Because the mainstream games are always guaranteed to sell well. And, mainstream or not, it at least guarantees that there is an interest in video games. I would never want to see, like, a transition to only doing mainstream shit. But I would want to keep just the economy for game companies alive thanks to the mainstream. We at least owe the mainstream that. Mainstream alone is keeping video games alive. Even if they don't interest you in the slightest, they don't have to. I would say it's a very good thing that they are keeping video games at least in the interests of a few people, even if it's the most typical gamer. And I don't even play most of the mainstream stuff. Like GTA 6, the funny thing about the GTA 6 trailer is it dropped and I'm just like, huh. It dropped and I just didn't care. Because I think the idea of GTA 6 being a thing was more interesting than when GTA 6 actually dropped. Or not GTA 6 itself dropping, but like the trailer for it. I think the discussion around like the GTA 6 trailer dropping was more interesting than when the actual trailer dropped. It was hard for me to care. I don't even know if I'm going to play GTA 6. It was just an interesting thing. Needs to stop playing and drop Bully 2. Bully 2 would be okay, but like it wouldn't be something I'm super interested in either way. I personally would want to see something done with not just Red Dead Redemption, but like I want to see what they would do with the story for Red Dead Revolver. Like, Red Dead Revolver was just my favorite Rockstar game, like ever. But Bully was a very Bully was a very successful Rockstar game from what I remember, so yeah, they need to stop fucking around and just give the audience what they want. I've been recommended Bully, but I don't know. It's not something I'm dying to spend time on, you know what I mean? Like, either time or money. I think that in terms of the mainstream, like, what needs to happen is we need to keep an interest in the mainstream audience, in the typical gamers, but, like, I actually think that that could only... I'm the only audience for that game. I think even though the mainstream's kind of just doing the same thing over and over again, I think that's kind of the point for the mainstream, is they do the same thing over and over again, because they know mainstream gamers will just eat that shit up. And it's funny because within the mainstream audiences, there are also dedicated hardcore audiences towards that type of game. Like, look at your typical COD player, and then look at FaZe Jev. Like, same audience, one's just more dedicated towards a property. But, like, I would say the idea for the mainstream is that they keep the mainstream audiences going, but the audiences for the more hardcore within quotations, because that just means they're playing something that's, like, outside of the mainstream. But, like, the more, like, the more selective gamers, I think what we're getting right now in terms of properties, I think it's great. Because of, all these indie games that have been given this huge spotlight lately, anime games eating good, especially if you're a Dragon Ball fan like I am. You know, we got the fighting game scene eating good. Like, whether you like any of these games or not, like, we got, you know, a new SF game, a new MK, a new Tekken, new Under Night, new Grand Blue. You're a hardcore fan of SNK? And hey, look, SNK is getting a new game. We got Fatal Fury City of the Wolves coming out. We have more stuff announced for KOF 15 as a celebration release for Mai and Terry. So not only are they releasing a new Fatal Fury, they're doing some more shit for KOF. Like, you see the thing there? Is like, no matter your audience, the audience is there. I think the gaming economy and community I think it's doing. I think it's doing great right now. Honestly. I honestly think that if we get into like this loophole, right, of the modern mainstream shit, sure, it can be considered boring, but without this modern mainstream shit, we'd have a lot less money going around towards companies that could potentially be the same companies that make the video games that we actually are into. Like, if Bandai Namco made something that appealed to the mainstream audience, and it did well, but the more selective audience doesn't give a fuck about it, guess what? They get more money, so that means it's more funds to put towards shit that you like. When you think about it, it makes sense for them to go after the brain dead motherfuckers first. So that way they have money to play with later. I'm holding my microphone in my hand, so the gaming industry's money is good, but the innovation is bad. Innovation in what way? Elaborate, Mr. Rusty, sir. Because, like, depending on your explanation, I may agree or disagree. Innovation that they have to re-release old gaming titles to make $1. I mean, I think that honestly depends. Like, if they re-release an old gaming title, that depends on if it's in high demand or not. Like, they're out here making Black Ops 6. I think it's great that the Black Ops series, in my opinion, was the best series of COD games. The fact that they made another one and it looks really good, I'm all for it personally. And if that's what you're talking about is continuing old series, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. Because, like, these were the series that made these games, like, or that made a certain chunk of the audience for these games, like Sparking Zero, for instance. The Tenkaichi games, like, people wanted these back. After they stopped getting them, they wanted these games back like nobody's fucking business. And now we got a new Tenkaichi game, and it looks fucking great. And, like, re-releasing older games, like, in terms of remaking and remastering, I think is a great idea. Like, the remaster of Legend of the Seven Stars and the Thousand Year Door, I honestly think are great ideas. Hell, I think one of the best things you could do, if we're trying to appeal to the RPG market right now, just because if more obscure RPGs are getting notoriety lately, and they're actually, like, gaining more of an audience, please find a way to bring back the Legend of Legaia series. The idea that we can continue these old series because now there's a market for them again, and we don't have to worry about... And, like, keep in mind, the gaming market is pretty competitive still. Don't get me wrong, but the idea now... But the thing is, right? The gaming market is still competitive, but now we actually have, like, a big chunk of it also helping to come together and... help celebrate the releases of other gaming titles. Why has RuneScape never come to console? The shit baffles me. I can't say much. I never played RuneScape. But, like, if you think about it, back then, the competitiveness towards a market for a game, games trying to just compete with each other and do the whole... My game's graphics can out-graphics your game's graphics. That was borrowed, but please forgive me. It's a good idea for the explanation. Like, the idea of my game's graphics can out-graphics your game's graphics, and this game's more exciting than your game, like, that shit is such a dead fucking marketing scheme. Like, now, we can actually have these two games, and yes, there is a competition within the market, but now game developers actually have respect for one another, so assuming that Legaia 1 or 2, or fucking hopefully a Legaia 3 gets made, it wouldn't just have to fucking compete with Final Fantasy and be like, well, if my game doesn't sell better, my series is fucking dead. Sayonara. Like, no! It could actually thrive in this fucking... modern gaming market. People would still have their preferences, but one series succeeding wouldn't help contribute or attempt to contribute towards the failure of another. We could have both. We could have our cake and fucking eat it. I don't know. That's just me. I could be wrong, but it definitely doesn't seem like games are trying to, like, not just outlast the other, but it definitely doesn't seem like one company is trying to succeed by genuinely making the other fail anymore, you know? That sounds cute when you say it, but the business practices say otherwise. I mean, listen, again, I could be wrong, but I definitely don't see the current gaming market as the same type of competitive as it was back then. It's not like we're still doing this whole Nintendo versus Sega style bullshit. It's like if you put like Capcom against NetherRealms. It's like they're just trying to do the best for their games. They don't want to try and outshine the other one just to make theirs look good. Like, for NetherRealms to succeed, they don't have to make Capcom look like shit. And there are some devs that have realized this nowadays. And I definitely think that on that degree, like, or on that, like, level, I'm right to a degree. I'm right to an extent. Because the idea that that different RPGs nowadays, like just RPGs in general, like back then, in order for one RPG to succeed, it had to make sure that others failed to succeed in order to have that capitalism in the market. Now, they don't have to do shit like that. Or if they didn't fail, they definitely had to make sure that other RPGs weren't being, like, sold as well. Competitive gaming, the competitive market back then versus the competitive market now, it's different. I think you may have a point because they do crossover consoles with gaming. They do crossover console gaming with PS and Xbox. Yeah, exactly! Like, if one had to fail in order for the other to succeed, and if the practices really did completely say otherwise, to my point, then why are we getting games where PlayStation players can play with Xbox players? And in some cases, in-game voice chat with them. Like, I get it, the competition for the market at a base level is still there. You know, like, they're always... But I think that the idea comes from the more hardcore fans, not the companies themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because back then, the companies were doing their hardest... or the best they can to make the other company that they're competing with look like shit. Now the fans just do it, but the other companies have this mutual kind of respect for each other. It's like, we're well established within the gaming market. Let's be honest, neither of us are going anywhere. We might as... Sorry, burp. We might as well not waste our money and time on this stupid fucking pointless pissing match. Let's make our games crossplay, so not only can we continue to keep the game alive, but it also opens up more accessibility to the game's market, and we both capitalize on the success of the game sold for whatever respective unit they're buying. The PlayStation side of things, like Sony gets, you know, the money for the units sold on their console, and Microsoft gets the money for the units sold on their console. They both benefit from it. The game does well in of itself. It's just better for everybody when that whole, I'm the better company, my console's better than your console, this is better than that, we have bigger dicks than yours. Like, it's just better for everybody when they drop that shit. Didn't Microsoft decide to stop making Xboxes? I actually don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. What's up, Rage? How you doing, bro? But yeah, I haven't heard anything about that. But yeah, I would definitely say, like, there's still a bit of competition to the gaming market. That competition's never gonna go away, don't get me wrong. But, like, I think the idea of, like, oh, the way these business practices are going, they want the other companies to fail. Like, I don't see how that benefits anybody. Oh, Sony's out of the way. I guess that means that's more for Xbox, but, like, PlayStation, there are some PlayStation nerds that are just like, I've just been buying PlayStations all my life, and now I don't want to play Xbox because it's not PlayStation. But, like, there's also, like, the type of controller, the exclusives, the people that play each individual system. Like, there's shit to weigh in there. is all I'm saying. There's clearly a specific market for both for a reason. But like you see with Nintendo Directs where they show off games that are like, this game's going to Nintendo Switch, but it's also on all other platforms. Like, for example, most recent example I can give, the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. The only platform it's not coming to was Xbox, but in no way did they say it was also exclusively coming to the Nintendo Switch. They showed off a new game, so they got the first, the first chance to, show off this new collection that's coming out, but it's not even their exclusive game. Sony and Microsoft are sort of cooked. Sony is struggling migrating PS4 players to PS5. I would say that's more so with the earlier days of the PS5. I disagree with Sony being cooked, though. I don't see it. Doesn't mean the PS5's not doing well. Like, the main problem with the PS5 wasn't even that it was... The main problem with the PS5 wasn't that it wasn't in high demand, because it was. The scalping kind of killed the fucking market for it, because people were assholes with it. But now PS5 is, like, actually doing pretty, now, like, the PS5 market not being so shitty, like, now they're actually doing pretty decently, I would say. Jack! Jack, what's up, my boy? Yo, Jack Namations. It's doing well, I ain't doubting that, but they are struggling a bit. I guess. I don't know if I agree with that completely, though. Yo, shoutouts to my boy Jack Namations. I don't know if y'all have seen it yet. But my boy Jack here recently did a fan art of everybody to celebrate. Nintendo's doing the best out of the three? No, I don't know. Recently did a fan art of to celebrate 40 years of Ghostbusters. Everybody that was in the server for the strategy guides. Jack, if you're all right with it, do you mind if I show off the art on stream real quick? Yeah, all right. I'm gonna send it to my boy Jaden. I don't know. I just think that we could have, like, games that failed due to an overly competitive market back then be given another chance and actually, like, do better nowadays. What do you think of Nintendo? I mean, the company's business practices are kind of shitty towards, like, their older titles. But, like, I don't know, in terms of their consoles and the quality of the shit they put out, oh fuck, hold on. I have to get rid of the filter for a second. Shit. Hold on. Oh shit. I had to put the Crow D-Man back. I think in terms of the... Oh, hold on, I'm fucking trying to do so many things at once. Okay, it's a little compressed here, but yeah, he did this. Trust me, it's not gonna look like this when the video that I'm planning comes out, Jack. But Jack did this. I think in terms of Nintendo's business practices towards their retro gaming market, though, kind of just fucking sucks. That's amazing. Yeah, it really fucking is. Dude, small thing. When I was about to publish the drawing on my social media, I remembered that I wanted to add some small things. Should I just leave this up? Should I just leave this up, chat? I don't know. I think games that failed due to struggling in an overly competitive market back then definitely have a better chance now. If they wanted to give Legaia another shot, it definitely has a better chance nowadays. I don't see the harm in trying. We're acting like if these companies have... Like, we're acting like if a company picks up a game and then that game fails, like, these companies are gonna go fucking bankrupt because they won't have anything left should the game fail financially. Like, no. It's like Nintendo saying they would have... It's like saying Nintendo would have financial troubles after the fucking failure that was the Advance Wars Reboot Camp. Like, yeah, the Reboot Camp failed, but, like... You know what I mean? I don't think that the Reboot Camp is gonna harm Nintendo exponentially as a fucking company. I don't think the failure to sell one game, should they take a chance on it, I don't think the failure of one thing that they decided to take a chance on that failed before, I don't think that would assume, like, that would say, oh, this company is just fucking done because of that. Like, say a company randomly decided to pick up the rights. The rights are out there somewhere to Legend of Legaia and Legaia 2, right? I'm very passionate about Legaia. Legaia 2 is my favorite game of all time. But say a company tried to pick up the rights to it, right? And they either did a remastered collection of the first and second games, or they did a third one, right? Now, say the game failed miserably, like less than 50,000 units sold or some shit like that. But, like, you know, something bad like that, right? Do you really think a company is gonna fucking go bankrupt just because they did that? Like, the company would chill. Yeah, they'd lose out on a lot of potential money, or maybe they'd lose out on some of the money they put into the project itself. But, like, ultimately, let's be honest, it's not gonna fucking put the company under. As a company, you take risks on shit like this. Companies are making billions nowadays. They need to stop playing it fucking safe. They need to use some of that money and fucking be creative. That's all I'm saying. Maybe this is just the bitching of just some random nerd online, but they need to just actually do something with their brain. They need to use their brain, you know? Small thing, I remember I published drawing on my social media. I wanted to add some small things. No games I want to buy from Xbox. PS Switch is another question. There's 3 games I want to get. We could say the final drawing has papers flying in the background to make it look more chaotic, and a ghost trap done, seen in the latest Frozen Empire movie. Nintendo's chilling. Not so drastic changes, but those details I like. Okay. Yeah, that's understandable. Sorry, I had to rapid fire reading the chat because I saw the comments going by, but I was ranting and I didn't want to cut myself off. Because I feel like if I'd have stuttered on those points, I would have failed to rewind. Because I was just going, you know what I mean? Like, I just couldn't stop. But yeah, Jack, pretty much what I was thinking for the video that I was gonna do is, YT comment, stream speed run. Because guys, keep in mind, I said this was all of us. I'm right here. Let me put an arrow to it. This guy. That's me. So I'm in this. Yeah, that looks good. But yeah, guys, the you're next to me. Kept the blue eyes from your avatar. He looks like my avatar, pretty much. He's just not as chubby. Which is funny because my avatar basically just looks like me. But, yeah, basically on this art, Jack, I was pretty much thinking the same art, pretty much, except for the video that I was thinking of doing, it's pretty much just voice acted over a static image of this, right? But the main four that are there is me, Tayo, Psycat, and Luna, and it's pretty much just this image, and pretty much just our particle effects going around the ghost. And then at the end of the video, it shows off the original, like, artwork. So it's like that version for the audio. And meanwhile, I gotta do the PNGs. Well, you don't gotta, like, make any more new PNGs. It could pretty much just be those 4 PNGs you have there, and it's just those 4. It's pretty much just this image, except it's just the 4 of us. So basically just take some stuff off of here, and for that specific video, it would be that image. Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what you meant. But yeah, like, I got Luna's lines. Tayo said that he was gonna voice over the thing, so I'm guessing Psycat's gonna be with him when he does. But yeah, it's gonna be that, and then it fades to this artwork. It's like a celebratory thing. I already got my lines recorded. Hold on, I can show you guys. Let me save this here.
Well, I've got a pretty damn crazy idea. The door swings both ways.
So yeah. We got that going. We've got that in the works. Actually, since this is Jack's artwork, I'm gonna credit him. I'm gonna make it green. There we go. There you go, Jack. But yeah, Jack, really good to see you in the stream, man. Double copyright. Well, it's mostly just because they can't see it. If your signature is anywhere in this image, which I don't see it, they can't see it. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Am I gonna get Sparking Zero? 100%, dude. Like, I always said this, like, the reason why DBFZ was my dream Dragon Ball game is because we didn't get a Dragon Ball game that was like that, like an MVC style one. But Raging Blast 2 and the Tenkaichi series was pretty much my favorite way to play Dragon Ball. Am I gonna get the collector's edition? Fuck no. You kidding me? You kidding me, bro? I'm definitely paying the money to get Sparking Zero, but I ain't paying a kidney. You serious? Ain't no damn figurine worth that. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. You're planning on getting it? I mean... you know, kidneys are overrated. Yeah, you only need them to live. Who wants to live nowadays? Breathing is overrated. Am I right, kids? Am I right, the youth? Just be like Majin Buu. Just regrow stuff back. If I could alter my body like Majin Buu, I wouldn't regrow stuff. I'd make stuff bigger. Anyways, video games. Am I right? Yeah, we still got 6 people watching. Oh my god! Speaking of the amount of people watching, I want to talk about this. I recently saw like a thing, it was on a YouTube community post, where social media and Twitch have really twisted people's ways of perceiving how many viewers you have. And also, no, I've never played Pal World. I've seen it though. I've watched Tayo play it a little bit, I think. And I know Jev played it. But the thing is, like, there are some streamers, you know, how they'll have, like, a bunch of people watching, like, 100-something viewers at a time, and then you'll get these streamers who average, like, 12. And then people will complain, I have this many followers on my channel, but only this many people, only, like, 12 people watch me live at once. But it's like, have y'all forgotten how big of a number that is? Like, imagine in real life, do you know how many people that would be? Is 12 people wanting to all specifically hang out with you and all together keeping you company in a giant group of 13 altogether, you and 12 of them? The fact that there are 6 people watching this stream right now as I am saying this, the fact that there are 6 people watching this stream right now, can you imagine if there were 6 people sitting in this one room right now? 6 people in one room is still enough. 6 people. That's a squad right there? Yeah! Well, I mean, it went down to 4, but still. That's 4 people watching. One of them is probably me. It's probably counting me looking at the stream on my phone. Because I like to make sure nothing stutters. But, like, still, that's 3 fucking people. 3 people, 4 people. If I have 12 people... Imagine if I had 12 people, not including me, in my chat, talking at once, all looking at me, paying attention to me. Hell, I'd feel a little overwhelmed. I'm not even used to that type of engagement. You don't want you think it's only 12 people? You don't want a fucking 12 count of people fucking talking to you at all times? Okay, give them to me. I'd feel fucking overwhelmed by that amount of people all wanting to come specifically watch me. I don't know why it bothers me as much as it does, but it does. I've got a channel with fucking 1,100 subs, dog. I asked for an audience, not an army. Yeah, exactly. I've got a fucking 1,100 subscriber channel. $1,100 subscribers, and I struggle to average 100 views. If I can get 6 people watching my live streams, man, I'm fucking grateful. You don't want 12 viewers? Okay, give them to me. 12 people talking to me all at once? Brother, that's enough to keep... I'm talking to fucking 12 other individual fucking human beings, all with probably their own thought process, because I don't just want a fucking echo chamber. I'm talking to 12 other individuals for an entire, like, what, 2, maybe 3 fucking hours? That is enough for me. Talking to 12 people at once. Like, you don't want to be grateful for the audience you have? Okay, bring them to me. I'll take them. I'm happy if I can just get 3 people averaging my streams. Having people watch you is a feat because that means you're doing something right. Exactly! Fucking exactly! Like, can we talk about that for a second? Got 100 subs, and I just can't know how I did it without doing many videos. Like, because your art's good. Your art's good. People see talent, and they appreciate talent. Which, by the way, I haven't completely stopped. By the way, no problem, Jack. I do genuinely mean that. You're way more fucking talented at this than I am. No joke. I can't draw for anything. But what was I gonna say? The whole showing my face on YouTube thing, I haven't stopped showing my face because I don't want people to see my face. I don't really care about that. It's just showing my face on YouTube has no relevance right now. Plus, I'm gonna be completely honest, showing my face on YouTube and, like, having to keep that going, like, I gotta sit, like, if I'm doing a stream like this, let me tell y'all something, I'm laying back right now. I'm still sitting in my chair, but I'm laying back in my fucking chair. My chair is almost reclined. I'm leaning back. And it's hot. So, like, we're all dudes here. It's hot. Sometimes I don't want to wear a shirt. It's getting into the fucking 90s. It's almost July. Pride Month is almost over, baby. It's gonna get fucking hot. Like, and plus, like, I don't want to crank my fan to 1,000,000 because it gets fucking loud. Literally recording for 5 minutes with my fan off and having none of that in the background, like, it makes the room way hotter than it should be. I end recording sessions in fucking sweats. Recording shit during the summer sucks. I'm not wearing a shirt right now as I speak because it's warm. I have to have my fan on in the background. I've started opening my door so I can let the air circulate so it stays cool in my room. That, and I have a fan, and then there's another fan on the ceiling. I have 2 fans blasting as hard as they can and an AC. And I sleep with my door open. Like, it's hot. So, yeah, that's the main reason I don't show my face on YouTube anymore. Or not anymore, but like just lately. Is just because, like, usually it means I have to wear something on camera. Because nobody wants to see a fucking shirtless fat dude sitting back in his chair. This heat kills me, man. I can't imagine what it's like for esports celebs having to stream wearing fucking jerseys and all that. Free the nipple! I've seen people growing than me. I can't help but feel jealous or angry because I understand some people get tired of waiting life from me when I'm not giving it. And, well, I can only work it a ton. They got that strong AC. Goku would fight it. Yeah, bro. Hey, Hey, North Carolina. I heard your summer heat is strong. Let me fight it. Like, dead ass. God. I don't know if it's just Jack's art or the fact that I just like how creative her avatar is, but Carrie's avatar, bro, just looks fucking sick. My brother-in-law was in North Carolina for 6 months, said the weather is trash. Well, as a long-time North Carolinian, all of my life, as a North Carolinian of almost 22 years, I can wholeheartedly say that your brother-in-law is right. The weather in North Carolina blows. Dude, it either gets super hot and like fucking like late September or November, or it rains all summer. Like, we're having Minecraft boss weather changes. Someone stop messing with the admin settings, please. People grow at different rates on YouTube. What can you do if you want to what you can do if you want to continue to grow is you just got to be consistent and look for things to improve upon. He said it's nasty humid. Oh, it is. If you think it's humid in North Carolina, though, don't go to South Carolina. If he doesn't like the weather down here, the weather in South Carolina would probably actually fucking kill him. But as far as what Rage said to Jack, man, I agree. The consistency thing, maybe less so, because consistency is hard when you're not a full-time content creator, you know? Things like work, college, school, other things like that, they just don't leave you time to be consistent. So rather than consistency, I would say focus on the quality and passion you put towards your craft. Don't try your absolute hardest to not put something out that you're not proud of. Don't rush things out there. Because that was a thing I was doing for a while. I just kind of put shit out just to have stuff out there. And I realized that once I stopped stressing the consistency, and focused on the quality and not quantity of my uploads, I felt way happier. How did me and Jaden link up? We actually just randomly met as mutuals in a Discord server of... I forgot what his current, like, username was. I think his name was, like... Demigod Productions or something like that. I think that's what it is now, unless he's going by something else. But yeah, me and Jaden met up in his Discord server at one point, and we started actually just talking and hanging out. Turns out we had a lot of similar tastes in video games and interests, and we just kind of talked after that. And I ended up joining Jaden's Discord channel, and that was kind of that, I'm aware of that. I just still get amazed 100 cool dudes without being consistent. In college, this period I had to work with a social service project. Don't compare yourself to others, for comparison is the thief of joy. That's pretty much right there. Consistency works, but what you were saying is good too, since there are some channels that post a few times a year, but the quality is way up there. If you're planning on doing that, then yeah, you gotta have the quality be good. Well, I don't know. I think if you're not doing it full time, then I don't think consistency is something you need. I think quality is the more important thing. Even if you are doing it full time, I think streams are what fill in for the consistency part. But I don't think anybody really needs to worry about consistency unless they just don't have a fucking life outside of the internet, YouTube is one of those things where it's like, and to borrow from a guy I used to watch called Xro. He used to be called Xro Plays. Now I just think he calls himself Xro. I used to talk to him. I still watch him every now and then. But YouTube isn't necessarily the greatest career or just the easiest thing to do when you actually have a life outside of the internet. And if you guys want a perfect example of that, look at my channel. I have a job that keeps me consistently busy. And sometimes I just like to take days off. In fact, I think the last time I actually live streamed without just deleting it because it was like this was a mistake, I think the last time I did like a full live stream that I wanted to keep up there is I think the last time I did that was like a few months ago when I streamed for Awesome King's birthday. Another thing you should do, which a lot of people don't know, try to talk to people who are in the same niche as you. Make connections and help each other. That also works. I think to a degree that works. I usually just let people approach me. But that's just me. I'm just bad at fucking approaching people that I'm also passionate about that sort of stuff with, The Strategy Guides is one of the few servers that I just happen to get lucky with. Man be consumed by YT can turn people in what? Brother got me over here talking like a fucking Jim Carrey character. Shakaka. Also, another thing that I just don't really want to show on stream is, since it's allergy season and there's also other things that are like breaking out, my face has also had a little bit of acne pop up a little bit again lately. I'm using things to keep that under control, but I've had a couple of things pop up on my face lately. Fever blisters I can't really do anything about, or fever blister, cold sore, bump, whatever you want to say on the on my lips. I just call them fever blisters, but I had one of those recently pop up on my lip, and now there's a scab where one used to be. I've got kind of like a thing over on the left side of my cheek and up in the top of my forehead. I'm trying to smooth that out a little bit because my hair is getting longer, so I need to start using products to keep the oil from my hair to keep the oil from my hair from irritating my skin. Dude, you just reminded me that I got offered to work on a guy's pilot who asked for help on it. Hey, look at that, Jack. You found some people in my comments that you could talk to. Did you fall prey to the Animal Crossing hype during the lockdown? No. Admittingly, no. Hold on. I'm gonna get another art brought up on stream. This one, not everyone's gonna care about in the chat. It just means something to me. But here's the thing, it's gonna be completely understandable if most of the chat just does not give a fuck about this. If you guys don't care about this next one that I'm gonna put up on screen, that is completely understandable. Because this was mostly a personal thing I had done for me anyway. There we go. I just wanted to switch it up. You doing a collaboration? Nice. I played Everyday 2020 2021, the New Horizons. Just asked if someone can work on a pilot episode for free, and I just kind of accepted. I'm waiting for a storyboard for him to decide. I'll be able to work on it. Or if I will quit. You seem cool too. Looks like something off of DeviantArt. You like it? This actually isn't DeviantArt. This is my buddy Paul, or PSArt, Unite Devastator. He has a few different aliases, but PSArt is his artist name. I mostly just wanted a custom Pride thing, because I know Alistair's ace, but the thing was the flag he's holding is mine, and I really like the character, so I wanted a character that I like holding the representative flag for me. So I had this custom made, and he did a really good job on it, honestly. If you're using it as experience, for sure you shouldn't do things for free all the time unless it's a collaboration. I mean, he shouldn't do things for free all the time, but I will say, doing things for free every now and then, even when you're starting up, is a good way to build your portfolio beforehand, because it also tells people about things that you have done. And it shows them how confident you are and can be in your work. That's why I eventually started charging for voice acting commissions, but every now and then I offer to do character voices for free. That's something that Jack actually approached me with, too. You got the gift of gab. You should be charging for voice acting. I do like talking. That's also a reason why I like being a YouTuber so much. It's just because, like, people want to hear you talk. People actually, like, in real life, if I talk on and on, people are usually just like, bro, shut the fuck up, no one cares. But, like, on here, I get away with that shit all I want. I wouldn't have 1,100 subs if people didn't want to hear me fucking talk, so... That's the reason why voice acting is such a passion of mine. Same with singing. It's like... you get paid to just use your voice and jibber jab on and on and on and on and on. And people will eat that shit up. You like when I talk? Well, I appreciate it, Awesome King. That's why just chatting works for me if I actually have people in the chat. Like now. You guys give me things to talk about, and I can talk about it. Still don't know how to use PayPal to begin earning money. I don't think you should just use PayPal to start earning money. I think there are things you link your PayPal up to. Like, Ko-Fi. Ko-Fi or Patreon, or one of those, you know? Some people use Buy Me a Coffee. There is also that. And I think you actually can earn off of DeviantArt, too. Neither. I know how to use the GoFundMe or Patreon. Yeah, most of those link up to your PayPal, so you should look into them. My boy's shit out of luck. Guys, I would get some background tunes going here, but I don't think PlayStation can do that. PayPal ain't that difficult, but the problem about that is you gotta put in your real name. Well, that's also a thing, is if you make a PayPal account, or if you use like a Ko-Fi account, you can name yourself things that, like, you could just use a fake last name. Like, if Jack didn't want to use his real, like, last name, he could just be like Jack Art. Or if it links up to his Ko-Fi, do tell people in your local area about your channel. But, like, you could also use things like, you know, like, fucking, you know, like Ko-Fi to, like, link up to your thing, you know? You'll see what I'm doing here in just a second, guys. I'm getting a fucking... I'm getting a slideshow started. Just have this 10-second fucking thing. Clone clip, clone clip, clone clip, clone, 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 clone. And then just copy paste this like 3 or 4 times. It's just that I'm still afraid or nervous to put it in one way to work on it with money. After all, if I'm busy with college, if I'm bussy with college, and I have a commission pending and I take too much time on it, do you tell people when you're looking around trying to make it yourself? I don't want to make worse time problems. You just gotta put time into whenever you can. What I do with an artist, whenever I commission them, is give them a deadline. Usually it's 30 days. Well, you've seen that I took too many days on that Ghostbusters drawing. I didn't think you took too many days. The last thing I would do about that drawing is harass you. Wait, actually, that's blood-coded. Then I want to do... Where's brain food? You guys see what I'm doing now? There's brain food. And then here with my thoughts. I think, what's like a good thing? Just have this. Used to use Share Factory. I still think Share Factory is a pretty solid editor for what I want to do. I can have one more. So I guess I'll use Let's Get It Going. So yeah, you're going to hear the songs come on and come off. So just let me know if I need to turn them up or down. Are they... I'll do this. Okay. Still decent for me. It was starting to be limiting, so I moved on to another. I think it's, like, decent in general. Like, it's great for a budget. I think one of the few things that's keeping me on this and not moving me over to something else is because, one, I don't have a computer that's meant for editing. Two, it's just free. So... But yeah, we're gonna move over to the full screen and just have these go back and forth while I talk to you guys. By the way, all of these beats are made by me. Let me know if you guys want them turned up or down. But yeah, making content just as a smaller creator is just one of those things where it's like, you just have to do what you can do, you know? Don't stress how quickly you can put shit out. Just put things out that you know you're going to be proud of, you know? And if you feel like something doesn't meet up to your standards, then that's a good thing. Because that shows you've improved your quality and you've upped your standards as a content creator. Gotta go. Have a good rest of the stream. Bye. Awesome, man. Well, I'll see you later, Rage. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Do you guys want the, just let me know, by the way, if you guys want the, music louder or quieter or whatever. Because I can't tell. You use Akuma in Street Fighter 6? Hell yeah, bro. Akuma's fun. He's not more fun than Ken for me, though. I will say that. I'm listening to the stream. I need to turn the music up just a little. There we go. Just a little bit. There we go. That should be good, right? But yeah, all the music, all of the streams, or all the songs that you guys are going to hear in the background, I made these. And you guys are free to use them. Turn it up a little bit. I did. You guys still need it turned up more? Do you still need it turned up a bit more, or...? Is it too low still, guys? Does it sound good? Wanted to be done with that drawing the Ghostbusters day and finished it 2 weeks later. Hey man, it just gave you more and more time to perfect it. But yeah, being a content creator in the modern day, when you don't do it like full time, it can be a little bit rough. But I honestly think that, okay, I'm gonna listen to the music as I'm talking, so I'm gonna plug my headphones in real quick. Hold on. Where's it at? Go in, damn it. There we go. Hello. Anyways. But yeah, doing content creation when you're not doing it full-time or when you're a smaller creator, it can be rough when you're trying to find your footing. But I think one of the good things is being able to be proud of something that you put out, even if it's not to a professional degree. Just because you never know, like, who might find somewhat of an interest in what you put out, like, regardless. And that unprofessionalism or whatever, or that lower grade of creation actually has a charm that the upper level doesn't, because there's more room for creativity and passion. It means that no matter what, when you're doing it not full time and when you put out what you want to, the only one in control of you is you. And that's the best part about it. I think, personally, I think that's the best way you can go about something like that. Oh! We're currently getting, by the way, we're currently getting into, my favorite of the beats that I have put out. I really like this one. I did a good job with this one, in my opinion. By the way, for those of you who are not a part of Jaden's server, Jaden Pixels, or my server, as soon as this stream goes up, I'm going to archive, and I'm going to leave invite links to both of those, because I actually do release these beats early on those servers. So if you guys actually do follow me, whenever I, like, for the beats that I create, or if you ever do look forward to when I put out new beats, I usually tend to show them there first to get a good first impression. Or to get an early first impression, and then I release it to the public. These are public domain, by the way. You can freely use them. You will not get a copyright claim. Just be sure that you credit me in the description of your video or on screen or whatever. Just credit me for the beat if you decide to use it. That would be greatly appreciated if you guys decide to. I have a whole playlist. It's on my channel. Rusty, have you ever listened to any of the beats that I've put out, man? Here's an effect I'm very fond of. But yeah, Jack, I appreciate you letting me voice act your artwork, man. It really is. It really does look good, and I'm very excited to be able to put something out where it's not only a collaboration between myself, you, and the strategy guides, but also just to be able to voice act such a fantastic fucking artwork, man. I don't get to do stuff like this very often, so I appreciate you letting me use your work, man. I've been having a great time today talking to you guys. I actually never knew you made beats until now. Yeah, I make them every now and then. There's a whole playlist of them. Here, I'll link it in the chat. Right now what you're listening to is a beat called Here With My Thoughts. X times 2? What does X times 2 mean? Me too, basically. Oh. Oh, you're excited for me to voice it? I had a good time chatting too? Oh, gotcha. Is the beat too loud, guys, or can you guys hear me? I fucking love that shit. I'm so proud of that beat. Right now we are listening to Let's Get It Going. This is my attempt at dubstep. As you can hear, I played around with the genre a little bit. I've done trap, I've done more emotional trap music with more rhythm and symphony to it. I've done lo-fi, and I've also tried to just make straight up hip-hop. My favorite song of yours? Oh, Awesome King, you like this one? You like, which one? You like, Let's Get It Going? How long have I been making beats? I dropped my first beat back in 2021, and then for a while I just didn't release another one. And then when I got back into making beats, I started releasing them a little bit more regularly. So I want to say roughly 3 years if you count when I started and like the huge gap in between. The idea was to make something that you can identify like as one of my songs, but also like make something simplistic that sounds like something good in a background video. And you can hear this and be like, yeah, this is a D-Man beat. Yes, you love dubstep? I'm glad to hear someone's got a favorite beat of mine. My favorite beat that I've ever put out is either Brain Food or Here With My Thoughts. I think I did a really good job with those two. I actually listen to those two beats every now and then. I like the songs that I put out. I actually did drop a vocal cover, 2 vocal covers earlier this year. I did one of Poison, and then in Alistair's voice, I did Dead Memories by Slipknot. Play Brain Food after. I just played Brain Food. That was the lo-fi one. I'm pretty sure. I'll play it after this beat goes off. How about that? If you want to hear some lo-fi. I thought that the one you played before was Alone With My Thoughts. It was. Or maybe I took Brain Food off. Whatever the case. I'll play Brain Food after this. I'll play Brain Food after this. Since you want to hear it. But yeah, I've been putting out beats for a little bit. I don't put them out super often, though. Because these are sampled off of an app, right, that I use to create them. Every single one of these sounds is sampled. It's just looped over and over and recorded live. But the thing is, you don't know how often I've played with that app before, and I just could not find something that sounds good. Like, every now and then I'll find something that sounds catchy, but it's, like, not good enough for me to want to, like, record it and make a whole beat out of it. So when I find a sound pack that actually sounds good that I think I could create something with, that's when I use it. My music is something that I am kind of proud of. I like to play around with that slider. Dun, 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 dun. I guess I gotta get ready to put on brain food, huh? Or let me see what's next. If it's not brain food, then I'll change it. Let's see what's next after this. Oh, I didn't put another one. What was this one on? 11? We'll play this one on 13. Just because this one's a bit quieter. Yeah, here you go. Some lo-fi for you that I made. You're leaving tomorrow, busy, so better get some good sleep. Alright, man. It's been good to talk to you. You know what, guys? I'm gonna be quiet so we can just listen to this together. And that was my lo-fi hip-hop beat, Brain Food. You know what I should do? I should just do a stream where I listen to all of the beats that I've made, and then just give my overall opinions and thoughts on them. Not like I would get fucking copyright claimed. It's actually a pretty damn good idea now that I think about it. So yeah, that was it, Rusty. That was mad nice. Next up, let's do Can't Stop... No. Let's do Can't Stop Dreaming, and just do what you can. We'll put these up here. And of course, we're gonna put them at a... What was a good volume, Rusty? Was it like... It was like 11%, right? We're gonna say 11%. So yeah, Rusty, anything else you want to talk about, my boy? $13 was nice. I think these two are a little bit louder, so we'll do 12 for this. These two were a little bit louder, because that's the thing, is like, some of my beats have different volumes, so, admittingly, I don't want to, you know, the can of worms I opened up the other day. What can of worms are we referring to, sir? What else are we gonna... Ooh. Yeah, we'll have this. On Jaden's stream? Oh, fuck. I actually don't know what you're referring to. It was the one I was there for, right? So yeah, here's Can't Stop Dreamin'. Then after that, I think it's Just Do What You Can. Yeah. What specifically were we talking about? Oh, I think this was another, oh no, I think this might have been techno that I tried to do. I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was a techno beat that I made. You opened up a can of worms on Jaden's stream. Rusty, I actually don't know what you're talking about, brother. I was a part of the last couple of streams, except for this Doki Doki one, because he just happened to be streaming whenever I went live. Oh yeah, this was definitely techno. I've tried to dabble with so many goddamn genres, like, with my beats, that I actually forget which one was which genre sometimes. This one was definitely fucking techno, though. Ape Escape music, lo-fi. I don't make themed music, bro. The whole thing about making non-copyright stuff is that you're supposed to use it with any streams or videos. And that's kind of what I want to aim for. I don't want to aim for something centered around something. I want to make something more, like, simple, chill, basic, more generic, you know? But yeah, Rusty, I don't know what you're referring to, man. If I'm being completely honest. Do you go live often? Not anymore, dude. I never have time to go live when I'm off of work, and, like, usually when I did go live a lot, whenever I got off of work, I was just fucking too tired to do anything. You know? God, I did fucking good with this. Can of Worms was like, when you sound like an ally to Jade. I know what you're sort of talking about. I can't remember what it was entirely. Ally to what? Ally in what regard? It was something during the Shadow the Hedgehog stream. I felt bad after I said when you realized you guys were, you know, not realizing that you guys were, you know, something about our sexuality, I'm guessing. I'm not sure. Yes, sir. Brother, I'm not offended. And I guarantee you, Logan's not offended. And I think he's dating Ink and I. He's not offended either. Oh yeah, here's Just Do What You Can. This one is trap. This is just straight up trap I made. But, no, like, we're some of the least offended people with that sort of shit. Like, Jaden doesn't allow me to say it on his streams, but on mine, I don't care. You could quite literally call me a fag to my face, and I would not give a fuck. Straight up. So yeah, you ain't gotta be sorry for nothing. Trust me when I say this, none of us are gonna get offended. I'm certainly not gonna get offended. And not this bisexual guy. It's been a hell of a couple of days, huh? Why does it say in my... Wait, Rusty, go look at my screen. Go look at my stream description. It says I'm streaming fucking VR chat. You should do scheduled live streams during the week. Rusty, I can't, dude. The reason why I can't do scheduled live streams during the week is mostly just because... Hold on, is this too loud? Hold on, let me look. The reason why I can't do scheduled live streams during the week... Okay, no, it's not. But the reason why I can't do scheduled live streams during the week is because I don't have a consistent work schedule. When I say it consistently keeps me busy, I mean, like, sometimes I may work 4 days a week, sometimes I may work 5 straight days, sometimes I may work 6 days straight in a row, sometimes I'll work 3 days, then get 2 days off, then do 3 days, and then 1 day off, and then 4 days, 1 day off, and then 5 days, and then 3 days off, like, you know, like, my schedule's all over the place, and the days that I work throughout the week are also random. That's the thing, is the days that I usually work are usually not consistent at all. So even if I had like a consistent streaming schedule, sometimes I just might end up working on that day. And like sometimes and even then, like not only are the days inconsistent that I work, but the hours themselves are inconsistent. Like, for example, sometimes I'll work like Saturday and Sunday, and then be off Monday, and then work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then be off the next 2 days, and then work the next 4 days, and then be off the next 2 days, and the next work 1 day, and then off 2 days, and then work 2 days. But like, if I work Wednesday this week, I'll work 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., and then and then Wednesday next week, instead of working 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., I'll work 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. You know what I mean? The hours are random, and the days are kind of random and scattered. You don't stream enough for people to come back to the channel on a consistent basis. Yeah, I know, but it's like, again, it's also probably for the best. Because, like, when you think about it, I'd be too tired anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean to compare to Jaden. Got a schedule where I know I'm gonna see him stream. Well, Jaden also probably, which has me coming back. Well, also, you gotta look at it like this. Jaden also probably has a work schedule that he can tie into a consistent streaming schedule. My work schedule doesn't allow that. It's something out of my control. I've tried to fix it towards that, so that way I have more time off on weekends, and I just work during the week, so that way I can at least record something there. But that's the thing for me, is inconsistency was always something that I was stressing. And this is another thing, is it's like, I get it, people might not come back that often, but I really can't do anything about that. It is 100% outside of my control for right now. Just because I work retail and we're understaffed. So I have to work random hours of random days in the week. My schedule just simply doesn't allow me to create something consistent for doing YouTube content, because not only do I have that to worry about, but I also have 2 different YouTube channels for separation of voice acting content from my mainstream stuff that I just do everything else on this channel. And like, that's just the big main issue. I just can't do it like I want to. Trust me, if I could make a schedule like that, I would love to stream every weekend or something like that. I would love to get Saturday and Sunday off and just work Monday through Friday. I would love to work 5 days a week, 5 8-hour days, 40 hours consistent, and then just get Saturday and Sunday off to do whatever the fuck I need, and then whatever the fuck I want afterwards. So you at least get something out of me on Saturdays and Sundays. Maybe a video, maybe a stream, maybe whatever the fuck, you know? But I just can't do that. Even if I had something consistently laid out, the Mondays may change up so damn much. And again, like, this is also a thing with me. I don't like putting out content with just a lower energy. Because that was something because the thing that you're talking about was actually something that I was doing even, I was even doing that a few years ago. 2021 and 2022, I want to say, were plagued with that sort of shit. I worked retail too, and weekends are needed to be open. Yeah, like, that's just the thing, is, I don't even know how to say it, like, that's just the thing, is like, 2021 and 2022, I was doing that. If I couldn't put out a regular video, I'd just put out a clip. And then if I could stream, I would, but it was super low energy. Usually it meant, that I was just... It usually meant that I was just tired. It was low energy, and it just wasn't something I was proud of. If I'm being completely honest, you know? What up, guys? Another quick bathroom break. I know, but listen, I've been drinking caffeine. I'm gonna restart the song and go to the bathroom real quick. Hello, Kenshin. I will be right back, guys. But yeah, Rusty, just to give you, like, I'm aware the problem is with the consistency, man. But work just really is outside of my control. I really can't do anything about it. Trust me, I know what I need to do. It's just not within my ability to do it right now. Wispy. I'm back. Yeah, anyways, like... That's also just another thing. I just don't get paid to do YouTube. So... That's why I just put out content wherever I can. Because if you don't do it full time, you can't create a fucking schedule around streaming. Like, that just goes back to what I was talking about earlier with one of my friends saying, like, you know, YouTube isn't the easiest thing to do when you have a life outside of the internet. It's like, I spend a lot of time inside. I'm either at my house or I'm at a friend's house. Sometimes I might, like, go to a mall or something if I really want to, and, like, we might go to a concert. There's not a ton of stuff I do. But also, there are just times where it's like, even if I have time to stream, I'm just simply too tired to fucking do it because I worked a really long week preceding it, or it's like I needed a day off. You know what I mean? Retail jobs, they might seem simple, but that by no means makes them easy. They are draining. They are very fucking draining. Whether it be mental or physical or both, they are draining in some way. And you know how it is, man. Occupation, bruh. Yeah, it's just not easy doing this sort of stuff when you have shit you need to do. I have other things in my life that I need to worry about. Besides, like, the monetary gain from all this is optional anyways. Because I don't directly make money off of YouTube anyway. I make money off of, like, when people commission me for voice acting projects. And that's even if I decide to charge them. Sometimes I'll just want to do something for free, just to put it out there to add to, like, my portfolio, so that way I can, like, fucking, you know? It's not like I'm build it up. Sometimes I just, sometimes I just simply don't have time or don't have the energy to. You know? If I were a full-time content creator, you'd see streams and videos from me almost consistently put out back to back to back. Because if all of my time was dedicated to it, trust me, like, all the videos, like, if I try to put out videos back to back as things are now, right? Welcome back, my lord. If I tried to, yeah, welcome back, Awesome King. If I tried to put out videos, back to back as things are now, you'd easily see which one was the one I'm tired in and which one was, like, the low effort one versus, like, the one I put time into and effort into. Same with the live streams. But if I were to do this back to back when if I was a full-time content creator, you would not see much of a difference between the two because all of my energy goes into doing this stuff. One day I would like nothing more than to put all of my time into singing and voice acting. And then sometimes streaming, but it's not in the cards for me right now, bro. It's just really not. But yeah, Rusty, your advice is very much fair. I am very much aware that it's something I need to do. It's just something that I cannot do. And I've tried to make that change, but just as things are at work, we just don't have enough people to accommodate for that being my schedule. So, trust me, like, weekends would be great for me to get off. And I know people's opinion of it, but, like, I think if you're IRL streaming, you ought to keep it to, like, a place where IRL streaming is normally more acceptable in my book. Key is to save money and grab better work opportunities and then manage time. Yeah, that's basically it. But But, like, for me, the whole public streaming thing, if I were to do it anywhere, I would do it either on a car ride or in, like, a mall. But I would not do that shit at, like, dinner. I wouldn't go to, like, some fucking... you know, I wouldn't go to somebody's fucking wedding and do that shit or some shit like that. But I like streaming car rides. I like recording, going out and doing shit. I actually, I actually really had fun whenever, I went out to record bowling with, Quan and Greg. Next time I go to buy shoes, I actually want to record myself doing that. Wedding live stream is crazy. Yeah, actually, let me not even say that, because someone might even... That's something somebody would probably fucking do nowadays. I'm just gonna put this one on. I'm gonna turn this one down to, like... This one's quiet, so it's gonna go to, like, 75. Yeah, I think that one's fair. Maybe, like, 70. It's me, I'm people, I need the clout. That's crazy, dog. The fuck? Oh, it just has a really long fucking wind up. But anyway, yeah, like, I don't know. Would I like to do some shit like that? Probably. Yeah, I would. But I think the next thing I want to do is, like, if I did anything public, is probably film myself going to, like, get some shoes or something. But even then, I just order my shoes offline because, like, when the fuck am I going to find time to do that, you know what I mean? But, like, my thing, I think my main thing with, streaming is it's just... I think that's what, I think that's just what makes streaming more fun, is getting to do it less often, you know? It's more of a, rare luxury, so whenever I actually get to do it, you know, means I can enjoy it more, because I don't get to do it very often. Makes it kind of more memorable in a sense. It's a good way to look at it in a positive light. I mean, it's not going to do me much good looking at the fact that I can't stream in a fucking negative light, so whatever, you know? I already struggle with depression as is, so, like, why just see the fucking negative in everything I do in terms of my, my YouTube channel? There's already a ton of shit that I struggle with mentally. I don't need that to be fucking one of them. It already was earlier this year, and I did not like it. I don't know. I don't think there's much else I can say on that topic. I do what I can. when I can, and just try to make the most of it. And hell, I can say for right now, what I've done has been enjoyable for the most part. It has been enjoyable for the most part. Ugh. I'm not sure there's honestly much more to talk about. I don't want to say I'm going to bed necessarily, because my sleeping pattern is pretty fucked. It's gonna be fucked. As long as I'm at this job, my sleeping pattern is never gonna be straight. It's gonna be all over the fucking place. Sometimes I'll go to bed at a normal time. As long as you're content with the output, that's all that matters. Bingo. As long as you're not getting paid for it, then as long as you're happy with it, that's really what matters at the end of the day. But, like, I don't know. Am I happy at this job? I don't want to talk about it. What the fuck was I gonna say? Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. What the fuck was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. My sleeping pattern is all over the place. Like, that's why I say I work so many random hours. And, like, my sleeping pattern is also very fucked every now and then. Because, like, just this year alone, dude, I can't tell you how many times my sleeping pattern has switched. It went from waking up at a relatively decent time to... It went from going to bed at a relatively decent time and waking up at a relatively decent time to going to bed at, like, 6 or 7 and waking up at, like, 4 just because I was doing so goddamn many early morning shifts, and then it was like waking up at 2 and going to work at fucking 7. It's like my sleeping pattern with this job has shifted so many fucking times since I've got hired that I'm just like, as long as I'm here, my sleeping pattern is whatever the fuck it feels like being. So I just stopped stressing about the shit, to be completely honest with you. I just don't fucking worry about it. I'm awake at 2 a.m. Brother, sometimes I'll be awake at like fucking 6 a.m. Sometimes I'll go to bed at 2, sometimes I'll go to bed at 6, sometimes I'll go to bed at 1, sometimes I'll go to bed at 12. It's whatever the fuck my body feels like doing. Anyway, gonna swap back over to the other thing now. Let me go and delete that clip real quick, by the way. Shit, fuck, where's it at? There we go. Gotta be careful, because it doesn't ask me if I want to close the app out. It just swaps me. That's one thing I'm fucking scared of. We're gonna throw this back on the screen. But yeah, I will be leaving shortly, just because I think the stream is just about ready to wrap up. But we talked about a few things. I am definitely happy with some things regarding, like Terry and mine, Street Fighter 6. We played Neptunia again. I haven't got to stream that game in a long ass time, so yeah, it's been fun doing that. Talked about like games I'd want to see remastered, what I think of the current gaming climate today, what people don't normally talk about when it comes to the mainstream audience. Just a ton of different shit. And that's just not like, and that's just games. Like I talked about a bunch of other shit too, like with your content creation, random ass stuff, such as the essence of just chatting. We made it to almost 3 hours on this one stream alone, fellas. And I'm happy that you guys could be here for it. It meant a lot. And let's see. There's the amount of time I've been streaming right now. I've been streaming for almost the past, 4 hours? I think. So in terms of your streaming footage, or your stream content, you know, you guys got it. We had a few different friends and people stop by. We had Awesome King, as usual. Kinshin, haven't heard from you in a while, my boy. Glad to see you're still around. Hope I can stream more often. Trust me, brother, I do too. I would want to. If I could, I would. We got to see Rage again. Jack stopped by. Rusty, it's been good to see you in the chat again, my man. Like, it was really cool to see you last time. It was really fun to play Raging Blast 2 again with Jaden yesterday. That was fun as fuck. I can't believe that he's considering adding that fucking game. Because that's my favorite DBZ game, like, ever. So I can't believe he's actually considering adding that to the Scrappin' Monday poll, like, on a regular basis. If I get to play that game with a friend on a regular basis, I might have a reason to actually bust the game out more now. You guys can bet as soon as Sparking Zero drops, I will be playing that, whether it's on stream for videos or just with friends. Like, I'll be definitely picking up the game whenever it drops. But yeah, I think I'm gonna close this off, guys. Yeah, it's been fun to talk to you guys, you know. Again, I don't get to do this very often, and I think one of the things that made me want to come back. Hope you could stream. You buy SF6 tomorrow. That's cool, man. I hope you enjoy the game. Play Ken, he's cool. You go on Jaden's stream more often. My favorite guest on his streams. You know what? That means a lot, dude. It really does. But yeah, man. Fuck. Like, it's thanks to you guys I can make any of this shit entertaining. So, you know, I do appreciate it. Rusty, you popping in and saying that you actually like when I join Jaden's streams and shit. It made me want to kind of try streaming again lately. So, I'll definitely try and keep it in mind. I know that there are some of you guys out there that want to see it more. So, and trust me, I would love nothing more than to deliver. Just bear with me, doing the best I can here. All I am is just one simple man. That's it. I don't really have a team of people running my channel for me. Most of the stuff I do is by myself, unless I record it with friends, but pretty much everything you see, or almost everything you see, is put out by moi. Unless they're like avatars and shit. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys. Stay crispy, my friends. Also, W, that you use Ken, Awesome King. Ken is cool. We stand Ken out here. And I think with that, I'm probably gonna cut it here. Next time I do anything for a stream like this, I'm going to try to use my capture card to get some live PS2 stuff, because I want to play Tenkaichi 3. Or Legaia 2. Either Tenkaichi 3 or Legaia 2. Love both of those games to death. Maybe Legaia 2, since that's my favorite game. But yeah, guys, I do appreciate you sticking by. And again, like, it means a lot that you guys come through and actually are showing some, like, genuine, true support and everything. I really like the fact that there are people out there that actually look forward to watching my shit. Um, and I never could have foreseen this years back when I first, like, really started streaming. So, yeah, guys, I'm gonna cut it here, and hopefully my shit won't malfunction when I try to do something on my computer. Later, y'all. Stay crispy.